Howdy do, folks. Welcome back to the Oil of Whithe. When last we left our heroes, some stuff happened. We have a volunteer to go through the things that happened last session.
Let's read the
Carmine,
campaign notes.
Big scary cat thing.
Big scary cat thing, I agree.
Huge scary cat thing.
I confess I am inordinately proud of the cat thing, and I am glad that it made an impression.
Do you want me to read the campaign notes that Miss Carmine has written for us?
Actually, yeah, that sounds useful.
Okay. Session 14. Playing catch up. We need money. We're broke. Let's check the job board. Fetch broom. Went to chef. 10, 10 silver pieces. Clean bar cellar. Went to Aki and Lefman. 5 gold pieces. Caravan is late. 100 gold pieces. Full party. I'm old. Tell me a story plus a bonus. Carmine and Jinx completed. We will meet together and discuss the caravan. Don't grab the ones that fight back. Too scary for us. Carmine and Jinx went together. They earned 2 iron coins. Aki gave Carmine his 5 gold coins from the cleaning cellar job. Iron coins are bigger than. Oh, oh, sorry. Iron coins are bigger with cauldron on one side. Coins remind Carmine of a hag lore, very fishy, coming from a random old lady. Guild lady doesn't recognize coin either. Carmine can makes painting out of the guild. Off we go to find the caravan. Find a collapsed building, investigate it. People attack us. Ah! Found a cat horror with that absolutely dominates and forced us to run. Chef cut it down last second as everyone left. To-do list. Chef list. Carmine's clothes. Entertain Jinx is crossed off. Find Aki's
Right.
mentor. Side note, King of Birds. And those are all of
Entertain
ours.
Jinx is an evergreen activity. It should never be crossed off of the to-do list.
It
You
was just
think you're done with me? Is
it
that
was
what I'm
just
hearing?
the daily checklist.
Yeah, it's my daily checklist, so it's rewritten again, just not crossed out yet.
That's
It's
fair.
like a planner. But yes, that is all of our I love our session notes that Carmine has put together for us.
And so last we left our daring protagonists. Um, there's a yeah, there's two of them. You still have two of the you have two of the hostages still with you. As previously established, they are both young human women. They are wearing large, bulky um collars. And manacles, and the collars are chained to the manacle. And each of them have a leash that's attached to the chain.
How do they physically look? Like, are they knocked out? Are they breathing?
They are both 1,000 yards staring directly ahead. But they don't seem to be like starved.
I'm gonna rousing splash each of them.
They do not respond.
Okay. But now they have. Now we know that something. Can I sense if they're like in a trance of some sort? See if dark forces are at work.
You're a sorcerer.
I also
Kind of
have this funky little thing called Schooled in Secrets.
Ooh, that sounds useful. Occultism in place of diplomacy to gather information about such groups. You can either roll occultism or you can roll lore cult.
They're both pretty equal. I'll try with lore cult first.
You can only roll one, but lore
I
cult will
will
be easy.
do lore cult. Oh no!
Is there any sort of lock or mechanism that I can pick on these collars?
There is a very clear, very bulky, and frankly very expensive looking lock on both of the collars around the neck. But the manacles seem like trying to think of the right word to say this, but they're basically just being held on by like a piece of wire that's been twisted around a couple of times.
Okay. I want to try and pick the lock.
Okay. You can't figure it out.
Hmm. Even
Obviously,
though any success for me with pickpocket would be a critical success?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, fair enough.
obviously these ladies have been through quite a lot. We may be dealing with something that we can't really judge on how am I going to say this? We can't judge like how big of a threat this is going to be based off of this one incident so far. But we do need to bring it up to the guild when we get back because we still need to find the missing caravan, and if this is only part of what's on the road, I can only imagine what's going to be further down on the road.
You said that there's a simple mechanism around the manacles on the hands. Can we at least let the hands free on the girls?
Yeah. You unwrap the wire and they don't move the entire time, and then when the manacles are removed from their hands just drop to the
Can we search the tents and stuff around the buildings where we found them and were fighting? Search the corpses, see if we can find any information.
Did we already leave though?
No.
Or you guys didn't leave? Then I wouldn't be there then, would I?
I mean, you ran away, but that doesn't mean
I
that
ran away like a
scared.
scared little bitch, so I'm for the jam.
Running away does not have to be a forever problem.
I feel like I would have ran to the cart to get it ready to start. But if the threat was subsided, then I would have probably came back for sure.
Have this image of like winding the tail to get the horse going.
I'm more like quickly grabbing the reins of the horses, getting it all sorted, and then jumping into the driver's seat and like just about to like go, yeah.
Are we sure there's nothing else in there? Do we really want to go back in?
Yes. Yes, we do want to go back in there. Does somebody want to stay up here and help the young ladies or keep an eye out for the young
Jinx,
ladies?
do you want to volunteer with me to stay behind and watch over the ladies?
You know what? I'm good with that. I'll stay there.
Sorry.
All right, Chef
I'm
and
little and
anybody else who
squishy.
wants to investigate further.
All right. Move like combat or no?
It's just so that you guys can visualize what's going on.
First thing, I'm gonna search the corpses.
So, if I'm remembering right, there were about 5 of the guys with knives. They're wearing like matching ruddy hoods and mismatched armor. And they all have a dagger, but that's pretty much it. The unfortunate young woman who got her throat cut before the cat thing crawled out of her body matches the fits the same demographics as the other two. And other than a simple woven undyed dress doesn't appear to have anything else on her. Although you notice the lock on her collar is open.
Like unlocked, open,
Yeah.
like the.
Like it is open, it is undone. Her collar is like her body is on the ground and her collar is like open on the ground.
Well, that's kind of messed up.
Maybe it was a good thing Jinx didn't pick that lock then.
It's holding in the horror.
Not necessarily.
Anything in the tents?
This gray brown one down here seems to be the primary storage. It's got like a couple of boxes of food. What you think used to be a cart that has apparently been broken up for firewood. You take a look at the fire that is still burning cheerily, and you're like, wait a minute. Yeah, that is planks. That's unsettling. This one seems to house 2. this one seems to house too. This one has one like cot, but it also has a like chest high bar that's just been stuck into the ground.
Okay.
It
Okay.
has like 6 chains hanging off of it that end in a little metal loop.
Like could be hooked around a collar or a manacle.
Could be hooked around or maybe wired to.
Hmm. But no other like books, no information, nothing of that nature.
Nothing's been written down.
While they are searching the area, can I investigate closer at the collar to see if there's any symbols or anything?
Not on the outside.
Oh, okay.
I guess I'm gonna grab the open collar.
Give me a minute on that.
Take that back up to them.
Carving the inside of the collar has something carved into it.
And that's literally the sound Carmine's gonna make at Jeff.
As Jeff is like reaching down
Like-
to grab it.
Yeah.
What languages do you speak, Carmine?
Common, Fey, and Jotun.
Okay. You do not Jeff, do you speak any languages that Carmine doesn't?
No.
Okay. Carmine, roll me in occultism.
Carmine's gonna like stare at their runes and use her fingers and try to touch them while I roll this.
Okay. Um, you know that you're not getting the whole enchantment, but these things are clearly magical, and the first thing that they are placed onto a person is not come off until that person
Until that person what? I'm sorry.
dies.
Oh. Can I pull out my handy dandy frog and ask him?
Yes.
Sebastian, what the hell is this? And no, I will not put it on you.
I fucking hope not. Where the fuck did I put that? I'm sorry. I placed my dice someplace, and now I have losted my dice. I have founded my dice. Can you tell I've moved since last session? All right. Kami,
Yeah,
I don't recognize that language.
that's oh Jeff, we're dipping into some territory that that's kind of scary.
So don't put that on anybody ever. And Can you take? Yeah, yeah. Don't put that on anyone ever, under any circumstances. Because I have
Oh.
no clue how it works, but I think it turns them off.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
And Carmine's just gonna put it back on the ground and kind of just warily step up from it and just be like, we're not gonna touch those anymore, okay, chef? Just don't touch those.
Bastion looks around. And maybe we shouldn't leave it here.
Yeah, that was kind of my thought. I was thinking we could put it in our goodie bag.
Okay.
And maybe
Definitely.
see if somebody back in one of the towns knows what's up.
Should definitely wrap around with some cloth or something just in case.
Okay.
I don't trust this.
You shouldn't trust this. Please make a note that you now have a weird collar.
I'll leave that one for you. Is Seb still out?
I mean, Sebastian is like poking his head out of the bucket still.
So I have a question there for you, brother.
Yeah.
This is about the same kind of collar that is on the two other young ladies.
There are more?
Yep.
Alright.
What oughtn't we do? Can you take a look at the young ladies and
I mean,
see what you can
I could just
ascertain?
try maybe seeing them on like maybe seeing the FX on a person help me like figure out how they work, but like I can try. I don't make promises.
I would not expect any.
I'm a familiar,
We are
not a
just
miracle worker.
in a precarious position here, and I am unclear on the path with which we should take.
Alright.
Head back up. How far out above table? How far out from town are we?
Maybe 4 hours.
Okay.
Getting on towards evening. If you push it, you can make it back by like 9 or 10
10.
after sundown. But like, if you want to stop out in the woods, I think that's also an option.
I want to see what's fitting to happen and figure it out from there.
What has happened with these two is they have not moved.
Jinx is gonna flick one in the ear, like, hello?
They do not.
Anybody in there?
Well, here they are, Mr. Sebastian. What are your thoughts?
Leans down with his 4 legs and he comes up and he splashes water across one of their faces. Coming, can you walk about 10 feet back?
Okay.
And he pops out of the bucket. Slave, approach me. And they turn in unison. and they walk up to the bucket. All right, they're responding to verbal commands. That's about all I got.
Oh, are these like puppet collars? That's weird.
I mean, I've heard of such a thing, but I've never seen it in person before.
Yeah, I reckon we should load them up and try and make it back to town for the night.
Guess so. Was there any hint behind where the missing cart was? Or the supplies?
We did find part of a broken down cart that they was burning for firewood. And some food. Would that have been the cart? Or would we have known?
I didn't ask if you were investigating that closely. Roll me an investigation.
Investigation. I am not seeing it. Just perception.
Your system, who this? Yeah, it's a roll me a perception check. You get the feeling that even if this wasn't the location where the caravan was struck, that this may be connected with the organization responsible for it. And you get the vibe that you have collected enough information to pass along to the Pathfinder Society to kick this upstairs to people who may be larger. Basically, this isn't a you can solve this problem. This is we need every caravan to have a number of armed and competent guards from here out.
And this is above our pay grade to solve.
This is not a roving band of heroes problem. This is an organized mercenary regiment.
All right, then let's load these young ladies up and head back into the town as quickly as possible. Because we're burning daylight.
Sounds good.
Okay. Get everybody loaded up. Start making your way back towards Slochno. By the time you arrive, it is very late. We estimate that it is somewhere between 11 and midnight. And the door of the inn is locked.
Maybe we should camp out for tonight until the morning.
Might as well. I mean, we're here. It'll save us a few bucks.
That and as far as the two victims that we have, Do we want to command them to rest until
Is the
we can get
Pathfinder
them?
Society open?
You could try the Pathfinder Society.
Let's check there first just to see then. It's this building here, right?
It's the one marked
Oh no,
Pathfinder
it's up here.
Society. Yeah,
I'm blind.
it's okay.
Yeah, let's check the Pathfinder Society, and if they're closed too, then we'll just camp out.
The door's shut. Lights are off.
Yeah, I think it's best that we just camp for tonight. Get our bearings and then return when everyone's awake.
And I reckon we might want
Good
to.
luck.
Let's not do that, Jinx.
Oh, spoils for it.
Between that and if no one's there, then who's going to pay us and also provide assistance to the victims that we have? We'd just be sitting in a empty, dark building, and that's it.
Fine.
I have a question. Is there usually Arthur's booming happening at night as well, or no?
Not generally,
Okay, never mind.
but you're also near his house. He
Well, at
does
least
not live in
Carmine's
the
got a
lab.
bed for the night.
You've also noticed that his lab does not have a door on it. Want somewhere with a bed? That's an option.
So we're gonna camp at his lab as
Yes. Yes,
unexpected
we
guests.
are.
Oh boy.
I mean, there's a forge where it's warm, I guess, right?
I feel like that's overstaying our welcome,
Yeah.
but that is your call, Carmine.
We'll have built-in protection if he doesn't kill us first.
I guess.
Can I just roll a perception to see if anything eerie is going on?
Yeah, sure. Your perception check.
Or if it's just straight up just because it's late. Oh, for fuck's sake.
It's like 11 o'clock at night. It makes sense that people wouldn't necessarily be at their place of.
I say we just
I'd say we just camp out here.
camp out. Yeah.
All right. Are you camping out here, or are you going someplace else?
I would
let's-
say outside of town.
Yeah, just outside of town.
Yeah. You
Let's
guys
set
find little wooden wood copes nearby. So set up proper. I am
Let's put the
definitely not jump scaring myself every time I put those tokens on. Guess what's right above them?
let's put the two ladies in one of the tents and command them to rest or sleep.
Okay. You tell them to sleep, and they instantly fall asleep. They're leaning against each other.
And I'll just like wrap a single blanket around both of them. Well, that's one thing to not have to worry about tonight.
Anybody sufficiently creeped out enough to think that we should have a watch? I mean, I don't know about you, but that just seems wrong.
No, I wholeheartedly agree with you on that. Um, breaking up watches so that way some of us can get full night's rest, break it halfway in between, and then the other person that started out can get a full night's rest as well, since it's already late enough.
Okay.
Chef is throwing together a round of fuck it soup, which I can only uh, pocket dried soup, and anything else that he has on hand.
That anything like Mongolian clusterfuck stew? It's like a clean out the refrigerator type deal. You just kind of chuck all of it in there and hope for the best.
That can get funky for sure if it's just the fridge that you're talking about. This is a soup, so it's pureed. More liquidy than chunky.
So, fun fact: you can dehydrate your soup, and eventually you can get it to a point where you wrap it in a cloth and it'll fit in your pocket.
I believe it.
Isn't that just called freeze-dried veggies?
It's more like
Isn't that just chicken
bouillon.
bouillon? I'm just kidding.
No, but it winds up being like kind of rubbery.
That sounds awful.
No, I mean like the like the end product is like kind of rubbery and kind of bendy, but like you can rehydrate it and it's soup.
I just imagine like someone got split pea soup, dried it down, and now it's like dried Play-Doh in your pocket of split pea soup.
You can have soup, but mud is also soup. Is it edible?
Yes. And the way I learned about that is a colonial food YouTuber called Townsend about it. I think it's like
Fascinating.
portable soup.
Fair enough. I don't know why my mind went specifically to split pea though. That's just the in my head I guess split pea is like the most revolting sounding soup.
That just seems to me like mashed peas dried out and made into like jerky strips.
Ba- pea bacon.
I mean, have you guys seen the bean and ham soup in a can and the lady's like frying it?
Oh,
Oh my
God.
god.
In tonight's episode of Culinary Disasters, just ugh.
Julia Child is rolling in her grave right now. Anyways, thank you for the fuck it soup, chef. um, I'll put on a kettle and I have like just various dry herbs and I can make like a soothing tea if anyone would like some tea. I don't have like my usual herbs that I normally like, but if anyone would like something to calm their nerves.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Fair enough. Ms. Carmine?
Um,
I'm making
uh,
we had fuck it soup. I'm going to be making fuck it tea. So
I just had a crazy idea.
Yeah.
So Carmine's gonna walk over to the campfire, look at the fuck it soup, look at the tea, and she's just gonna stare at the soup that Chef is just constantly stirring. And she's gonna recall earlier how she had grappled that random dude that is now dead, passed away. Um, and how the blood like just reinstilled the fuel to the fire for her, and how she realized like, man, I can really go for some of that right now. Um,
oh,
so she's just gonna kind of like warily glance at Aki, stare at Sebastian, and just be like, I'll be right back. And she's just gonna dip away into the forest and leave Sebastian there.
she's doing an Asterian thing. She's gonna find a wild boar.
All right. So Jinx is denying food. Aki is making a purple tea. Lethman, would you like some?
Did you ask me if I want something?
Yeah.
Do you want
Unless
some
we,
fuck it
uh,
soup and fuck it tea?
There's
I'm gonna
also
look around and I'm gonna look at it. Ooh. I'm gonna look around and I'm gonna look at Aki, and I'm gonna think to myself, oh, we got a handful of bucket cheese, then I don't know if I want anything tonight. After what I've just seen. But he is gonna spend some time with everybody around the campfire.
I'm going to ask everybody but Carmine to kindly mute themselves.
You repeat that? I didn't hear that.
I'm asking everybody but Carmine to kindly mute themselves.
Okay.
Carmine, what are you looking for?
Anything with the scent of blood on it. Her carnal desires are getting more and more rash by the minute.
Okay. Are you walking towards town or away from it?
Can I roll for that? I guess
Yeah, sure.
50-50. I guess
Evens or odds?
anything. Yeah, evens or odds. I'll do even towards town.
Evens or towards town. Okay.
Oh shit. Oh
Yeah,
no.
You guys are starting off by entrance to town. You know that world is awake. It's a place of business. And breaking into the inn for trouble, then I start heading over to
I'm so sorry, but you're breaking up a little bit. I have you at 200%.
No, it is okay. You start heading over to the residential areas, in Slash out here.
Okay.
And um only society.
Oh no, why am I proficient? I'm scared.
Because you're good at people.
I know.
And uh you walk around, um and you walk up to the house where that little old lady was earlier. And you try the door, and the door is unlocked. Enter. Roll me a stealth check. Um you smell her up the stairs. And as you start to climb, the stairs creak loudly beneath your feet. And as you reach the top landing, you realize that there is a light in one of these rooms. You push open the ajar door and you enter, and you find little old grandma looking at you, being gently. Well, I wasn't expecting you to come back quite so soon. What's the matter, child?
Um, have I stepped into the room all the way?
Yes? Or are you so far gone that you're going to try to eat poor little defenseless?
Um,
I saw the
Carmine,
hunger in your eye.
uh, Carmine's gonna give poor old Granny a really wide, wicked grin, enough to show her teeth. But she's gonna turn and shut the door behind her. But when she shuts the door, um, her hands are gonna be shaking like miserably.
You go to shut the door and the door doesn't move.
Oh, fuck me. Well, she's gonna turn still, look back at Granny, um, and she's gonna put her hands behind her back, but she's just gonna shake her head at Granny because she realizes when she if she tried to speak, she doesn't know what's gonna happen.
That's odd. She looks at you and something seems to click in her mind. Oh, you were born like this, weren't you?
Um, she's just gonna nod.
that changes. Here on the island, why, there's an old saying. She reaches down, and from in amongst a giant pile of yarn, she comes out with a knife that is the size of your forearm. That saying goes, she holds the knife in her other hand and slices it open and holds it out to you. Something willfully given, potent than something possibly.
Um, Carmine's gonna lurch forward and she gets to the bed, but she stops herself and grabs the what is it, a footboard? Yeah. She grabs the footboard, just digs her claws just all the way through into the footboard. Just
Um,
restrains herself, just stuck staring at the blood, just
I'm sorry, I should
dripping.
have been more clear. Granny is sitting in a rocking chair.
Oh, she's restraining herself from fucking something right now.
Yeah, yeah. Eat. Or are you going to debase yourself by finding some animal?
Uh, Carmine's gonna manage to ask her why.
Eat first.
Is Granny still holding the knife?
Granny's holding the knife in one hand, but her other palm is like starting to fill with blood.
Carmine's gonna look at the knife and shake her head.
And she's
J-
holding the knife like down to her side, and she's holding the like
Yeah,
bloody hand
but
out.
she doesn't. Carmine doesn't trust this. She doesn't want to get stabbed.
I'm not going to hurt you.
That's what a lot of people say.
You need it to be.
Um, Carmine's gonna give in and just go to Granny.
You walk up to her, you suck the blood out of her palm, and you start to lap at the wound. And where your tongue touches the wound seals shut. And you have a mouthful. And you feel full, you feel invigorated, you feel powerful in a way that would normally require draining somebody dry. And Granny just looks at you calmly, quietly waiting for you to finish. And as you finish, what do you do?
Um, I'm gonna look around the room and see if there's anything unusual, anything that arises my suspicions from earlier about her
Your
possibly being a
perception.
hag. Oh, fuck me.
Um, you are staring at that knife. Um, you realize that the knife has a bone handle. It seems to be some kind of femur.
Oh,
And you're just staring at this little old granny with a honking huge knife in her hand who was knitting 5 minutes ago and then lit her own palm and let you drink from it.
something tells me if I ask you who you are, you won't tell me.
I'm just an old, seen a great many things in time. Although I confess you're the first time I've seen a vampire with a conscience.
Whether that conscience is good or bad is yet to be seen, but
For anybody's conscience feel, well, that's really up to them now, isn't it? But tell me, little vampire, what brings you to a place like this?
Carmine's gonna finally look away from the knife and look down at her hands and look at her nails. Just trying to find some purpose in life, aren't we all?
Is that the secret? There isn't a purpose to any of this, except for the ones that for ourselves.
You do realize that now that you've given me this odd offer of your blood that I might come back again and again.
Haven't you realized yet? Try something like that, the woods will be after you.
DM, you're breaking up.
Haven't you realized yet that if you try something like that, the woods will be after you?
Okay. I was like, it's the end part I can hear. Um, sorry, I'm drawing a blank. I'm so sorry.
There isn't a right answer.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to say next is right.
Um, he's gonna kind of eye her suspiciously. Um, but it's gonna click in Carmine's head that she's probably been here too long, and that somebody back at camp is probably either A, getting worried about her, B, more suspicious of her than ever, or C, might think she's dead. So, um, Carmine's gonna bid Granny farewell and not answer her question. Um,
Oh, and child, make sure you.
yes.
Well, there are two things. Firstly, I feel a chill coming in the air. Make sure you close up after yourself. Secondly, the table by the door. Home, I think you'll find helpful. Tata?
That what about the table by the door?
Tome, you may find helpful. Tata?
Um, she's gonna kind of eye Granny again, but the excitement of a book is gonna make her just turn around and close the door and run down the stairs to the table.
The door moves now, which is nice.
Yay!
You shut the door behind you. You run downstairs. You hurry down the stairs. The stairs are creaking loudly under your feet again. You swear there wasn't a table here earlier when you came in? There's a table here now. And on it is a book. What are you doing?
Um, I don't want to touch it right away because everything's ringing alarm bells right now. Can I see anything on the outside or sense anything?
Um, it is simply bound in black or maybe a dark brown. It's hard to tell without any light. Cover. Um, you have low light vision? Yes.
I think I
Stamp
do.
here.
Forget where you checked it.
It would be here under senses, but actually, I could have sworn that you were supposed to have that. Let me check the archives.
Okay.
Don't you just love Pathfinder because we can just look this shit up? Dampier. Dampier. Yeah, you're supposed to have low light vision.
Okay, I'll type it
Um, the book is embossed with a gold type with a title that is lettered in gold. Um, and it is titled "The Thrones of Ascension."
in. Jesus. Would I have possibly read anything like this before?
Um, roll me occultism.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry. This would be history.
Oh, okay. Performance, religion,
History is not a skill anymore.
yeah, I was like, wait.
No, wait, history would be covered by roll me. You know what? I'll go easy on you. Roll me society.
Okay.
So you grew up in the Emerald Empire, and stories say that the founder of the Emerald Empire, back when it was called Pythium, that the leader of Pythium is sat upon a or the. You've seen it. You've heard it described both ways: the throne of ascension. And in that part of the process of that was leading the country to ever grander and more powerful heights, to the point that he is now worshipped as a god. And that happened hundreds or thousands of years ago. Long enough for stories to become legends and legends to become myths.
Okay, I'll pick it up in confusion and open it.
It the pages are thin and delicate feeling in your hands. The print is small and dense. You can't read this in this level of light, even with low light vision.
Right. I'm gonna close the book and look back glance upstairs one more time. Before heading out the door and closing it. And I will try to head back to camp.
Okay. Folks, would you kindly unmute yourselves? All right. Team in the camp. Army just disappeared for like 2 hours. Who's keeping watch?
I'll keep the first watch.
All right.
I was gonna say I can also do first watch as well.
Leftman, roll me a perception check.
On it. Uh-oh.
Yeah, nothing seems to be happening. Everything's going smooth. About halfway through, you watch a chilly wind starts up, and you grab yourself a blanket and wrap yourself up. Down. You do, however, grab some of the leftover camp rationing cheese and you find yourself nibbling away at that kind of throughout your shift. And or are you gonna wake up to as your as second shift?
Is the frog still out?
Actually, yeah. You look around and you're like, oh, that's weird. Carmine just left Sebastian's bucket by the fire.
I'm gonna nudge the bucket.
Sebastian seems to be asleep in it.
I'm waking him up.
What? What's the matter? What's
Hey, you're
going
on
on?
watch. Good luck.
Huh?
Don't listen to him.
And he pokes his
Just
head up out of the bucket. Okay.
just go back to sleep. Bash. I'll get Chef and Jinx. And I'll just go and
Sorry, I thought that Lefton was doing it all on his lonesome.
I apologize. If it did not come through, Aki said that he also wanted to do the first shift.
Okay. The Leftman is like, fuck it, the frog can handle it, and Naki is like, let's get like actual people.
Yes.
Okay.
Because
Frog
what
can
is the
do it.
frog? I know the frog can do it, but at the same time, no.
Muffman's just gonna curl on up and fucking turn over and take a bite out of his cheese. Whatever.
Go to
Bye.
sleep. Go sleep. Go sleep.
Do you want to curl up by the fire, or do you want to pick one of the tents?
I'm just gonna stay at the fire.
Okay. Aki, you wake up Chef.
Yes,
Jinx,
I'll
do
wake
you want to
Chef
join
up.
Chef on his shift?
Can y'all hear me? I can't hear anything at all.
You were
I can hear you now.
muted. Until literally 5 seconds ago. Would you like to join Chef during his shift? During his watch?
Sure.
Okay. Aki, you wake up Chef and Jinx and take a tent to crash in.
Yeah, I'll take one of the other tents and wrap up and go to sleep.
Chef, Jinx, both of y'all. At some point during first shift, a cold wind started blowing.
I am going to wrap my little cloak of many pockets around me to keep warm.
Chef is just gonna sit there and stare at the fire, not saying a word.
I'm just going to be fiddling with stuff in my pockets, take out a throwing knife and flip it around a couple of times and just fidget with absolutely everything. Probably annoy the crap out of Chef.
Chef, Jinx is fidgeting with stuff.
unflinching, staring at the fire.
Okay.
I'm gonna throw a throwing knife right down by its foot.
Nothing.
I'm gonna walk over to him and I'm gonna crawl up on his knees like, "Hey, big guy, how are you?"
Mm.
Are you mad at me because I didn't eat your soup?
Nothing.
Man, I'm sorry.
Still nothing.
You know I didn't mean nothing by that, right?
Still just staring wide-eyed at the fire. Barely blinking.
Are you not gonna talk to me anymore?
Still nothing. Doesn't even move.
Okay, well, I thought I was the immature one, but you do you, dude. I walk off.
Jeff, what are you thinking as you're staring at the fire?
Listening as hard as I can to the
Or-
tent that the two girls are in.
Right.
Waiting for something to come out of them and try and kill us. Chef's fucked up. He has seen some
Roll me a
shit today
perception
and
check,
he's
Jeff.
fucked up.
You are straining your ears, and the only sound that you hear coming from behind you is they're not snoring, they're just breathing in and out slowly. Is that how you're going to spend your like entire 3-hour long shift?
Yep, just listening.
Right.
And I'm gonna wander around the camp like an angry 2-year-old that didn't get their way, just huffing. Throw my throwing knives down at the ground, pick them up and throw them again. Just
Jinx, can you also roll me a perception? But I'm not sure you can see much, and Dragon's cool. I was about to say I was going to give you -4. That takes you to an 18. So you're kind of over here, grumbling. Chef has his eyes closed, straining his ears. Carmine, you ghost in to your tent, and I'm going to presume that you make it look like you've been in there sleeping the entire time.
Yeah. Well, I said I'd be back. So I told him I was leaving. I just didn't tell him when I'd be back. So yeah, I'll just try and slip in there as quiet as I can.
All right. And then yeah, the rest of the night goes smooth. It never really warms up. It kind of stays chilly the whole time. But the only person who hasn't taken a shift yet is Carmi. So maybe it's worth it to poke your head into the tent and check on her. She should have been back by now.
I'll poke my head into the tent and see if I can wake her up. Hey,
There.
it's your turn.
Um, Jinx is
Wakey,
gonna
wakey,
see
eggs and bakey.
Jinx is gonna see that Carmine was in fact not asleep, and she was nose deep in a book under candlelight. And she's just gonna shut the book shut really quick to Jinx, and she'll be like, "Huh? Oh, okay, yeah, sure." And she'll just kind of stumble out.
Oh, I'm totally going to look at that book.
Oh, she's holding on to that book with dear life.
Oh, damn it. Okay, fair enough.
Jinx, roll me a perception check. That book doesn't have a title.
I'm
Damn
so
it.
sorry. That was so funny. Sorry, sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry you
it's just
fucking
like
said that.
most of the time when you're reading a book, like it's got a title on the front. It's got like a title on the front cover. This one doesn't. It's like just flat matte black the whole cover of it.
You delivered that so well, DM. I'm so sorry. That was so
It's
funny.
okay.
Carmi is just gonna look at Jinx because now she's like protective over her book like a child and just kind of like stare at her for longer than usual, and then just walk past and pick up the bucket with Sebastian and just sit down and hang out and keep watch.
All right. Jeff, Carmine is coming out to relieve you and Jinx. Probably get back to bed.
Yeah, I'm gonna go grumbling back to bed.
I
Be a
am
crappy night.
I am gonna go grab my buster sword and lay on my back by the fire with the sword on my chest.
Okay.
Between the fire and where the girls are.
So more or less where your token is. Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. Carmine, you're reading in this book, it's hard to make out because as previously established, the text of it is extremely small and difficult to read. And it seems to be a history of a earth-shattering war. The problem is that you don't recognize any of the countries involved. Weird names, bizarre creatures are described. But the greatest thing above all of these is each of these nations was answerable to a tyrant of incalculable power. And these tyrants were warring over who would become who would become a god. And the way that they do this is they sit upon one of these thrones of ascension. And to those who fail, were cast into some kind of a prison space that is continually referred to only as Tartarus. Strange and bizarre magics, the likes of which you've never. These beings brought with them strange and bizarre magics, the likes of which you have never encountered or heard of.
Um, yeah, I'll just keep reading because now I'm like book nerding over this, trying to figure out why Granny gave it to me.
Um, well, it's clearly roll me occultism. The strange and bizarre magic line leaps out at you. And you start reading uh and you start reading deeper. The problem is that the first contender that is mentioned is leading some nation called Corn up in the mountains. And that the first thing that comes up when Ulm is discussed is how the Ulmish people are naturally resistant to and incapable of harnessing magics, and you're like, wait a minute, that kind of sounds like the Darksteel Dominion. And so you continue reading, and you start getting into the culture of it and how these are people who are like violently atheistic and worship only steel. And you're like, the Darksteel Dominion, and you start to put together that Ulm is one of the victors of this war. And in the process of winning this, they became a country. They became one of the nations that you know of. And this book speaks of their god, a titanic boar, with with three eyes and three horns and three horns. And how this raging beast would um annihilate would as it would lead armies of these heavily armored heavily armored men into battle. It would smash through the lines and would gore elephants, allowing his followers to follow in the wake of destruction that he leads through armies and cities. And that's as far as you get because that takes you 4 hours.
Yep. Is it morning by the time I finish? Can I I'm gonna go check up on the girls at the end.
Okay. They have not moved.
Okay. Uh Carmine is going to wake up Chef
Okay.
first. And she's going to let him know that she's going to go in the tent with the girls and try and get them to eat and drink something.
Chef will nod, he'll get up, start making morning preparations and food, while as intently as possible listening to the tent.
She's going to go into the tent with some water. She's going to be kind of awkward about this because she's never dealt with this before, so she doesn't really know how the heck to do this. So she is going to just kind of put the water down next to the girls and just say, "Wake up, please."
They wake up immediately.
Okay, so you guys at least answer to more than one of us. Drink the water.
Do you hand them each a cup, or
Yeah, I'll hand it to them.
you hand each of them a cup and they drink the entire thing?
She's gonna kind of squint at them and take the cups back from them. Tell me your names.
They remain silent.
Tell me who your master is.
They remain silent.
Do you wish us to help you? Nod your head yes or shake your head no.
They remain silent and still.
She's gonna get up out of the tent Give Chef the empty cups. And then she's going to go to her pack and get some paper
Okay.
and an ink pen. And while she's doing this, she's going to glance at Chef and she's basically going to explain to him, like, they didn't answer me, but I'm going to see if they can write. I don't think it'll work, but it might answer some questions.
Chef will nod.
And then she's going to go back and put the paper in front of the girls. And she's going to offer out the quill. She's going to ask, write your name.
They don't move.
Fuck. Okay. She's going to come back out. And she's going to tell Chef that they weren't willing to write their names, but maybe he can think of some questions that they might answer. Because clearly, direct questions don't work. So maybe Chef might have an idea. Because we can order them to do things, but if it turns into anything personal, they won't do it. So maybe there's a way we can go around that.
Ask them if they're alive.
Okay.
Or if they got one of them cat thingies in them. Or...
Okay. She's going to go back in. She's going to ask them, are you alive?
No response.
Does your heart beat true?
No response.
If you're scared and you know it, clap your hands.
Fuck.
While this is happening, can Aki wake and just see them peeking into the tent? Or are you guys fully in the tent?
Chef is cooking.
Yeah, Chef's
Oh.
cooking. Carmine's in the tent with the girls.
But like, are you like just in the doorway, or are you like fully in the tent?
Oh no, I'm like kneeling in the tent with them.
Okay. Aki is going to see Carmine and walk over and kind of understand the situation of what she's trying to do. And he's just gonna place his hand on Carmine's shoulder and explain, as far as I can understand with stuff like this, commands when it comes to someone being under control must be much more vague and easy to understand. So one word commands are preferable. So full sentence questions might not go through someone that is under a trance like this. So let me try something. And Aki is just gonna sit next to Carmine and look at them. And he's gonna just rub his hands together. And he goes, confess.
No response. They do not speak. They do not respond.
He's going to say, right.
I'm sorry, is that right? Like, right? I need to think of something else, or is that right? Like, I want you to write something.
Like, write as in, like, write something.
They do not respond.
This is a much stronger curse than I have ever read about, so I'm not entirely sure how we can help these ladies. We may need more professional help than what we're capable of.
Carmine's gonna kind of nod and take the papers away. But she will reach out and grab both of their hands, kind of like in a comforting way.
Their hands are limp.
Jesus.
So, like, you had to, like, go and
Like
grab
pick
them,
it
basically.
up. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's
And
just
when
gonna
you
kind
let go,
of
their hands just kind of
drop.
fall straight down.
Yeah. Carmine's gonna sigh and get up. I- and she's gonna tell Aki, like, I'm just gonna try and get them some food and make sure they eat then, I guess.
That's all we can do for now.
And she'll give them some more of whatever chef makes for us.
All right. Jeff, what's the menu for breakfast?
Eggs and potatoes and some salt pork.
All right.
And blood sausage for Carmine.
Okay. Get everything cooking. Jinx, what are you doing in the morning?
I'm looking for coffee.
Fair enough. Jeff is a saint and already has it going when you wake up.
I get my my coffee and I turn my back on him and I go away and sit and drink my coffee like a spoiled brat.
Lefman, what are you doing in the morning?
Having some grub.
All right.
I'll help Carmine put like an easy plate together for the girls. Maybe we should make like a breakfast sandwich rather than have open food where they might burn their fingertips.
Yeah.
Do
Still,
we have
we
like
have bread.
bread and stuff?
I mean, it's closer to hardtack than it is to bread, but like you have something vaguely analogous. Yes.
I'll help form the hardtack breakfast sandwiches then,
All right.
and I'll bring them over to the girls.
Mm.
And I'll place the plate, or I'll be handing the plates to them
Mhm.
while giving them the command, eat slowly.
You place the plate in their hands, you tell them to eat, and mechanically they seem to pick up the whole thing. By like the edges of the loaves of hardtack and eat it with several resounding crunches. In 4 or 5 bites.
I'll also get them another glass of water or something. And when they're done, I'll tell them to drink as well.
You hand them each a glass of water, you tell them drink, and they immediately drink the entire glass of water.
Well, folks, I think we got a busy schedule for today for sure.
How so?
Well, for one, we got to turn in our job, get paid. Then most likely we're going to need to put in a report about this. God forbid, who knows how long that will be. And hopefully we can help these ladies out by getting someone more trained into these arts. What I'm a little nervous about, though, too, now is traveling on the road isn't exactly the safest either now.
Are they potty trained? How do we know when they have to go to the bathroom?
Well, that I surely do not know. Um,
I think we'll know when we smell it.
That's kind of what I'm worried about.
we also don't know if something could be stopping them from doing that too.
That would be handy.
If they're being told, if they have to be told to do everything, what's stopping the body from magically not being able to use the restroom? But again, that's above my pay grade. I think our sole focus is to get these girls somewhere where they can hopefully recover soon.
I'm all for getting them somewhere that isn't with us. They can be the heebie-jeebies.
Other than turning in the job, does anyone else have any other errands they need to run?
Not right now. Not that I know of.
All right. Chef, how are you feeling?
Mm,
Well, appreciate the breakfast as always, and think we should get a move on, folks. And Aki will just go up to the girls and say, give them the command, follow.
They rise and begin following you.
And I'll start helping take down camp, I guess.
They follow you through the entire process. Go up here and you take down a tent. Come over here and you take down a second tent. Throw the tents into the cart and they just follow you like little ducklings. Out.
Naki is just casually doing everything, fully knowing that these ladies are just constantly following. All right. Shall we, folks?
Get it over with. The faster we can get rid of these girls, the better.
Yeah, I guess I'll
Yep.
just I'll just lead everyone to town then, I guess. I'm going to immediately lead us to the Pathfinder Society building.
Okay.
Is the door open? Is it closed? Do I hear people inside?
The door is shut, but there are enough windows. That much. And the in-house chef is busy at his morning cooking something.
Okay. I'm just gonna walk up,
Uh-huh.
knock, and then open the door.
Door's unlocked.
I'll walk in. Morning.
Oh, good morning.
Um, we're back from a job and have kind of a interesting situation to report.
He turns around, he folds his arms in front of his gut. Define interest.
Aki will walk in. He'll turn around, see the girls, and just says, "Come."
Not unless you pay me a lot more. Oh, what the fuck?
And he'll continue to walk in, and he points to the chair to them and says, "Sit."
And they go over. They both try to sit in the same chair.
um, he'll look at one of them. "You sit here." And he points to a different chair.
And she gets off of the chair that she's half in and sits in the chair that you indicate.
This one. This one.
The chef is looking at you. Is this some kind of weird fetish sex thing? Like
No,
what the
it's
hell is
not.
going on here?
We would like to know the same, but we need to report a crime against the caravan that went missing.
Okay.
We did solve the mystery behind it all.
Hold up. Let me grab Sim.
Sounds good.
He makes his way out around. He opens the door into the back and he yells, "Hey, shit! Wake up!" He'll be out in about 3 minutes.
Sounds good. I'll get the rest of the crew together so we can properly report everything. And he just kind of looks out at the open door as everyone's just standing outside. Y'all coming?
You got this, Aki.
No, no. Come
Fine,
in.
fine.
Jinx.
Fine.
We stick together. And I'll sit at the table with the girls.
After a few minutes, the lady, the blonde lady who seems to be in charge of it, comes out looking as immaculate as ever. And takes her position behind the desk.
Good morning, miss.
Good morning.
Aki will walk up, place the job post on the counter.
All right.
We have resolved this.
Okay. What happened?
Well,
She pulls out a sheet of parchment and starts and a pen. It looks like she's going to start taking.
if you'd like to see in person some of the victims of it, I guess you can look over there. And
She's scribbling down everything you say verbatim.
But we arrived at a destituted ruins of buildings. We ran into some hooded figures who seemed to be a part of an unknown cult of some sort. We defended ourselves as best as we could. Originally, there were 3 victims. However, one of the cultists murdered one of the girls. And when she died, a cat-like monstrosity crawled out of her dead body.
What?
Yep.
Sorry.
Oh no, there's more. There's more.
But wait.
The cat-like creature murdered the last cult member. And proceeded to chase us out of the camp. We managed to slay the creature somehow
Right.
and rescued these 2 ladies. From what we can gather, the manacle collars that they are wearing has some sort of dark magic linked to them, in which once they die, most likely more of those cat monstrosities will crawl out of them, but has also put these women into a catatonic state to where they only take simple commands in order to move, function, or anything. It's almost as if they're not human or living beings anymore.
Sorry, can you go back to the thing where a cat crawled out of a body?
Yeah, of course. So
What
the
cat? Like, was it a big cat? Was it a small cat? People are going to be encountering these a little more than just
yes.
weird fucked up cat crawled out of a body.
The answer to your question is yes. It started out small and then became big and then floated into the sky and was kind of like a muddled mess of a cat.
How close to this were you?
I would say within 10 feet at one point before I started running.
There's somebody who had a better eye on what happened. The cat thing.
Yeah, of course. Lefman, Chef, Carmine. Would you like to tell the lovely lady about what we ran into?
I'll come over to the other counter. Way over there, she asks the three to line up along the counter. Can you describe the cat monstrosity?
Maybe, Carmine, you could possibly draw or paint what it looks like.
Sorry, I just came back. What
No.
happened?
Oh no, you're good. The lady is asking if you can describe what the cat creature looked like.
Oh yeah, she'll draw it.
Okay,
So
how big was it?
big, hairy, ugly.
Yeah, how big was it is the question. I don't remember the size.
It was way bigger than me. That's all I care about.
It was bigger than Chef, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
No, I don't think it was bigger. I think it just.
It just floated
Yeah.
above Chef.
Yeah.
Got it. Got it.
It was floating about shoulder height.
And I don't remember you actually describing the size. I know it was half a cat with guts hanging out the bottom and shit.
I don't think I ever actually described the size either. I've gone back and made it mechanically small, but in my head it's like the size of a moderately large house cat.
But only half of it, because
We got punked by a house cat.
You got punked by a house cat floating at chest height with invisible claws that maul things like it's a tiger.
See, to me, and this might have been trauma talking, but it looked like, you know, that big Glacius Pokemon that's like a big floating head? That's what it looked like to me. It was gigantic, furry, ugly, and looked like it was going to eat me, and I ran.
talking about Haunter.
Um,
But yeah, Carmine's gonna draw the thingy-majiggy and just push the paper over once everybody's like, "Yep, that's what it looks like."
But we did get proof that it's not just one trading cart, but possibly multiples have been attacked by this cult.
you hand her the paper and she looks at it in utter confusion. Ellie?
Is that what it is?
That's... Thank you for passing this. If
Oh, you're breaking up, DM.
Thank you for passing this information along. I'll make sure that it is spread to the rest of the society. Excuse me. And she kind of half bow nods at you, takes Carmine's sketch and your collective report and zips into the back room.
What would you like us to do with the poor victims? Aki's looking at the chef.
Well, I don't think that you guys really have the resources and facilities to house them. So look
We
after
do
'em.
not.
We'll look after them for now, at least. So we can figure out something better.
Sounds good. Aki's just gonna look back at them and just...
Have they eaten?
Yes.
All right.
We gave them water, they have eaten, and they have slept. They
Huh.
have not used the restroom quite yet, but...
I think I'll let Sin handle that.
Yeah.
Anyhow, have you 5 eaten?
We did, yes. Thankfully, we do have our own chef on our team. So
Yeah, I
our
remember.
teammate tends to make sure that our bellies are full and ready to conquer the day ahead.
Speaking of, chef guy, come on over.
I'll head over there.
He's cooking up something in a frying pan. For only lore food or lore cook. Whatever your lore skill is. You don't recognize it. Coming up with it. It's called a flat cake. Want to give it a shot?
Of course I do.
Flips it out. Waves his hand over the stove and the fire on the stove goes out. Rubs his hands together. Pulls out 2 sets of utensils, cuts the flat cake into like 16-ish squares. Hands you a fork. Takes out one of the pieces. Cheers ya. Gives it an eat.
I give it an 8.
It's sweet. It's a little floury. It's a little doughy. You look at each other and you think you nod in agreement. This could probably have done with a little bit longer on in the pan. Not bad for a first try. Probably do better with sugar on top and maybe butter? I think butter would go well with it. What do you think?
Maybe a little bit of honey.
Honey? Goes underneath of the counter, comes back out with a little jar of honey and a little tub of butter. Let's try it with both. He drizzles on some honey and he dabs some butter on the side of the plate. You go in with your fork, you grab some of the butter, you put it on the piece. You have it. Delicious. You're not half bad.
They're pretty damn good, man, I'll tell you.
Yeah, keep telling yourself that. It's alright, we keep each other humble.
So what's got in her?
The cake?
Mm-hmm.
That's a secret until I perfect it.
That's fair. That's fair, I reckon. You might try putting above table cinnamon available in this world.
In small amounts, probably.
Is there a spice that would be similar to like the ground cinnamon we have that would be readily available, i.e. something of the same nature?
Not off the top of my head.
Okay, never mind that.
Yeah, that sounds like something imported. Imported sounds expensive, and expensive sounds like you can't afford it. But yeah, he's invented the pancake. Inventing the pancake.
Put cinnamon in your pancakes. It makes a big difference. Just saying.
I'll try it if I can ever afford cinnamon. And the lady comes out of the door and bumps into you, chef. I'm terribly sorry. I understand. The investigation job has been completed appropriately. Let's make sure that your company gets paid.
Yes, please.
And she counts out by tens 100 gold pieces for you, Aki.
And he'll mention, and if you wouldn't mind, we had to use some of our supplies to make sure that these two individuals survived. So if we can get some compensation for that as well.
He looks at the contract that you signed that doesn't mention anything about reimbursement for any resources expended. He
I
flips
think
around.
it's only fair.
Do you recognize? So, how many contracts have you done, sir?
4, 5, yeah,
Is this the first contract
5,
where you've
5, 5. We've
needed
done
to
5.
expend unexpected resources?
This is the first one, in fact, yes, of
Then this is a good
unexpected.
lesson for you. And she looks at you, smiling the smile that only bureaucrats can really master.
Carmine's gonna smile back in the background. In Aki's defense.
And she's just looking at Aki. The contract is the contract. And payment is agreed up front.
And just by curiosity, maybe if we talk to the individual that put in the contract, then
If they choose to renegotiate the contract, then they choose to renegotiate. But the contract is the contract.
I guess it is what it is for now. Then
For now. Have a nice day.
Aki will pocket the gold, and
You have 100 gold.
he's going to walk over to the board to see if there's any other jobs.
Not since yesterday. That's or at least nothing that's relevant for you. Sin seems to be drafting up something. And she comes around and she posts it.
How far
And
are we
goes
away
back
from
on
Carmine's
it.
close?
Oh yeah, how much did you need, Carmine?
Hold on.
Wasn't it like 50 something? Because you put a down payment on.
Yeah. 25, and I paid half up front. 25 for the vest, 5 for the pantaloons, 10 for the shirt and jacket. So 30, 40. Oh. So I paid 20 gold up front, so I need 20 more gold.
Okay.
I should have that with this job.
Aki will hand over the 20 gold to Carmine.
Oh shit. Thank you.
Well, there's 5 of us. 100 divided by 5. So 20 each.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say.
So he'll pass out 20 to each person.
Okay. Everybody mark down that you would now have 20 extra gold pieces.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is an appropriate stopping point. So thank you all very much. We didn't quite get to all of the stuff that I was expecting, but guys seem pretty laser focused on something that I wasn't really expecting you guys to that much, and that's okay. That's how it goes sometimes.
We played with the box.
The box is there for you to play with.
Well, when you give us something that has a hellspawn pop out of its neck hole, you know, you kind of tend to focus on that.
A ticking time bomb for some.
It's funny, you guys left the other ticking time bomb there too. But thank you all very much for coming on out. Thank you very much to chat. If you have chosen to stick around for long enough to watch the VOD when the VOD gets uploaded, you are clearly the target audience. So we would appreciate if you would follow through on the YouTube pleasantries. And bye everybody.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.